You've probably noticed that my income from one-on-one therapy clients is pretty low these days. So every single month on Instagram, I share my monthly income report. And I try and do this as transparently as humanly possible. So every single month, I share my total revenue for the month, and then I break down all of the different income sources where that revenue came from. So some of it's from one-on-one therapy, some of it's from my course, the Private Practice Academy bundle, some of it's from the Reels membership. I have a VIP community. I do brand deals, all kinds of stuff. And so I share all of those different places where I'm earning revenue. And then I think even more importantly than where I'm earning the revenue from, in the caption, I also share all of my expenses and what I spent in my business. So that way you can see what the total profit is. And I do this because I think that it's really, really important for other therapists and other people online to see what is possible for them by having an online business and learning to market yourself. But when I share these monthly income reports, they get a ton of engagement. And I would say that engagement really falls into three categories. One is therapists who are pretty inspired and excited by the monthly income report. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm assuming you're probably a fan of these, and maybe you've even hyped me up on a few of them. Second is people who are not part of my community. So people that are new, people that do not follow me. Usually they're not even other therapists. And they kind of think that I'm lying, right? A guy commented on one of my income reports recently saying, drinking a liquid death and wearing a whopping $10 outfit. I doubt you make more than $70K a year. And at first that kind of stunk. So I'm like, hey, I like my Amazon finds. I think I look kind of cute. And I need to hydrate at a hot concert in New York City that's outside. But, I digress. The point is that sometimes these results can almost feel unbelievable to people who do not know me, who may not have other therapist friends who are in my programs, who don't see, how I show up in my business and all of that. And then thirdly, I think from other therapists who do follow along, who do see my stuff, who do see, how hard I work and all of the support that I provide to therapists, the question I usually get from them is, why does so little of your income come from therapy? Or is it possible to make six figures as a therapist? Can I really do this seeing one-on-one therapy clients? And I get why you would ask that question. Right? A few years ago, I could not even fathom the kind of revenue that my business brings in now. And our brains, when something is new, they try and understand it, right? They try and make sense of it. And so your brain is trying to find reasons that it's not possible for you to earn a good living. Or maybe it's just something that you're curious about, right? To be honest, I would be curious about it too. And so I wanted to dedicate an entire episode to this topic and talk about it in depth in today's episode. Now, before we get into the decision that I made to dramatically cut down my caseload and see way less one-on-one therapy clients, I first want to share a bit about what my income, my practice, my work-life balance looked like before I made this decision. So, my first year in private practice, this was my monthly income. And this is only from one-on-one therapy clients. So if you've been around a while, I also did some consulting work my first year in private practice that brought in about $50,000 between that and a course launch. But these numbers that I'm sharing with you are just from one-on-one therapy clients. So first January of the year, $9,540. February, $9,866. March, $14,966. And I'll point out February is when I went full-time in my practice. April, $21,104. May, $19,080. June, $22,480. July, $18,348. August, $17,630. September, $21,388. October, $23,305. Now, I took off 4 weeks for my wedding and honeymoon in November and December of this year, so numbers are going to drop a bit for a sec. November, $5,347, and December, $17,286. So I share all of those numbers to tell you, when I wasn't full-time in my practice, I was almost earning $10,000 a month. And then once going full-time, I was consistently earning between $17,000 and $23,000 a month just from seeing one-on-one therapy clients. So it is possible to make a very good living seeing one-on-one therapy clients only if that is what you desire. And at the time, I was charging $250 per session, and I had a pretty good work life balance. So I actually went through my calendar, I went through my schedule, and I was seeing 17 to 23 clients a week at the time. I saw clients Monday through Thursday, and I had 4 to 6 sessions a day. And I was averaging more than $16,000 a month in my first year in private practice, right? Seeing 4 to 6 clients a day, 4 days a week. So that is super possible to earn a very good living and not be burning yourself out, not be working to the maxes with just seeing one-on-one therapy clients. But then something happened, right? My Instagram really started to take off. So in that first year, I hit 10,000 followers in September. I had lots of other therapists asking me how I did it. So I started seeing some one-on-one business coaching clients on the side. I put together an entire course and I launched the first iteration of the Private Practice Academy. It's been updated several times since then, but I launched that in October 2021 of this year, right before my wedding. Do not recommend doing a launch right before a big life event. And I started doing brand deals. So I really quickly started adding to all of these other things. And started doing a lot more than just seeing the 17 to 23 therapy clients a week where that income was coming from. In 2022, I still saw all my therapy clients. I earned almost the exact same amount of money. So I earned $204,453 from one-on-one therapy clients alone. So that was an average of $17,000 a month. But here's the problem, right? This is where things start to get very, very tricky. Over time, seeing 17 to 23 clients a week started to feel hard, right? It started to feel like a lot, especially on top of the other things I was doing. So in 2022, I earned another $150,000 in addition to the 200K from one-on-one therapy, doing things like courses, brand deals, and business coaching. And so while it was really cool to see my income going up and up and up, I also saw myself inching back towards burnout and the life that I was trying to leave when I left my nonprofit and started my own business. And of course, it wasn't from any one therapy client that was like too much, but it was the juggle of doing it all, right? I basically had a full caseload, earning 200K a year as a one-on-one therapist. And then I had a whole second business earning $150,000 a year doing things like courses, brand deals, and business coaching. And so it was really making me feel quite burnt out. And I knew like I could not do this. I was not going to let myself slide back into the burnout that I left the nonprofit for. This is my business now. I have freedom and I have choice. And so I made a decision that I was going to build it and scale my business sustainably. So in 2023, I had a choice to make, right? I had a few different options. I could decide to see less therapy clients. I could make less Instagram content, right, on business of therapy and make less sales on my programs like the Private Practice Academy bundle and the Reels membership. I could do less one-on-one or less group coaching with other therapists. And or I could make less content on Sit with Kelly and do less brand deals. Now, I ended up scaling back on a few of these things, but ultimately where I made the biggest difference was choosing to see less therapy clients. Now, I'm going to get personal for a sec because I want to give you a little bit more context of what my life looked like in 2023. So I bought a house. I moved my entire life from Jersey City, the New York area, to Miami. I've actually never shared this on the internet before, I don't think, but my mom got cancer. She's gone through treatment and is fine now, thank God, but that was really emotionally taxing for myself and for my family. And I had a lot of financial freedom and I wanted to travel the world. So I was taking more time off than ever. And when I got really honest with myself, I realized that the part of my job that felt the hardest for me and the least aligned based on my goals and the season of life I was in was seeing one-on-one therapy clients, right? I just didn't have the emotional capacity, given everything else that was going on in my life, to see 20 therapy clients a week. And I didn't want to be in my office on Zoom calls all the time, right? It was just too much. It's not that it was too much to have a full caseload. Like, I think that if I was seeing 17 to 23 therapy clients a week and life was lifing, I could probably do that, right? But it was trying to do that on top of all of the other stuff, right? On top of growing my coaching business, on top of serving thousands of therapists in my course and my membership, on top of all of the content and brand deals, on top of all the stuff I had going on at home. And, I found myself really loving the other parts of my business, right? Content felt like a fun, creative outlet, like almost even an escape at times. Coaching, my course, the Reels membership, it felt fun and light. It was a challenge for sure, but it was a good challenge. It was something I felt really good at, and it was something I looked forward to. And so I started to scale back my one-on-one therapy clients. Now, let's talk about what this actually looked like in 2023. So, first off, I decided I was going to stop taking anyone new, no matter how much they said they really, 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 really wanted to work with me in their emails. I referred out every single time. And I did it before I even got on an intro call with people, because in 2022, I had decided I was going to stop taking new clients, and I would still do some intro calls, thinking I would connect them with a colleague in one of my programs, and I would just get attached and end up working with them. So I started to get very serious about referring out and holding that boundary. I got serious about, other boundaries with my time. So I had a few clients that were, seeing me weekly outside of my ideal time, whether that was really early in the morning or later into the afternoon or evenings, or maybe it was even on a day that I had reserved for other portions of my business versus therapy clients. So I gave these clients a choice of a time that worked for me in my schedule in my business. And some people were able to be flexible and make that work, and others really couldn't. And I had to refer out, right? And say, we can't find a time that works for both of us. And we kind of ended treatment together. I also started having conversations with clients who I'd worked with for years, right? I'm sure that you all know this feeling as a therapist, but sometimes we have those clients that we've worked with for a really long time. We have a really good rapport with. They've made a ton of progress, but they want to keep showing up to therapy. They're invested, but you're not really doing therapy anymore. It kind of feels like you're chit-chatting, you're having a coffee with your girlfriend, you're playing catch up. And I had to have some tough conversations with these people that, I think honestly should be had either way, but I wasn't motivated to have them before. And now I really was. And so I reflected this back to them, right? And reflected to them that it doesn't really feel like we're doing a lot of therapy anymore. It seems like they've accomplished their goals, and we kind of started that process of terminating as they were ready. Other clients I referred to EMDR therapists for traumas that we had been talking through for a long time and that just weren't getting better with traditional talk therapy. And then, of course, some people fell off naturally. So over the course of 2023, kind of doing all of these different things, I intentionally chose to let my caseload shrink and to let my therapy income be cut in half. So in 2023, I went from earning like $200,000 from one-on-one therapy alone, the 2 years prior, to earning $102,751 from one-on-one therapy clients. And this was an average of $8,500 a month and an average of 8 clients a week. So it felt so much better to me in 2023, kind of where things were at with both of my businesses, to have this sort of more sized down practice. And I just want to stop and pause for a second, because those numbers were really wild to me. I cut my caseload in half. I saw 8 clients a week and still earned over $100,000 from one-on-one therapy. So you can earn very, very good money as a therapist, even doing this part-time, even without having to burn yourself out. You can totally do that with 2 days a week. So now in 2024, my caseload is still shrinking naturally, right? As people are ready to terminate, I proactively bring it up instead of letting us continue with therapy indefinitely. If something comes up for a client and I think that they would benefit from seeing a therapist with another specialty, I continue to circle back and make that recommendation to them. But in general, I feel a lot of ease in my therapy schedule again. I don't feel like I'm in any rush to get rid of any of my therapy clients. We're doing really good work together and I really enjoy it. And this year in 2024, I'm averaging about $2,500 a month from therapy clients. So I now see an average of 2 to 3 clients a week. I have 5 long-term therapy clients. Most of them I don't even see weekly anymore. And I'm really present, right? I look forward to our sessions. I have lots of emotional capacity to support my clients. Thursdays are my clinical days. I love it. It's like the best Friday Junior situation. And I'm not looking to stop this or actively move away from seeing one-on-one therapy clients. And right now, I'm just sort of supporting the clients that I do have and seeing where it goes, right? Maybe in the future, I decide to take on a few new people. Maybe I don't. I'm not really sure yet. But I'm really enjoying the work I'm doing clinically, as well as having plenty of time and space to focus on the other areas of my business. So before we wrap up, I just want to say that I don't know if this is what I will prefer in my business forever, right? Time will tell. But I think the most important lesson in all of this is that you have to give yourself permission to do what you want to do for yourself in your business, right? It is your business. You can do whatever you want to do. I can change my mind, right? So maybe in another season of life, I will decide to focus more on my private practice and my one-on-one therapy clients, right? Maybe I'll look for the ease that comes with a consistent schedule of therapy clients. Maybe I will look forward to the minimal marketing that is needed once my caseload is full. Maybe I will want the much, much, much lower expenses of running a private practice. Maybe I'll want the simplicity of not needing a full team to support my business. But for now, this is what works for me, and this is how I feel best in my business. And so I hope that you do whatever feels best for you, right? Whether that is income wise or schedule wise, niche wise, how you market yourself. I hope that you really stop and think about what it is that you want your business to look like and give yourself permission to go after that goal audaciously. And I hope you can also see that truly, the reason why I'm not quote unquote making more money from being a therapist has literally nothing to do with it being hard or impossible to earn 6 figures doing one-on-one therapy, right? For me, it was about finding passion in other areas and not trying to burn out doing all of it at level 10 out of 10 at all times. You can earn a very, very, very good living working much less than 40 hours a week as a one-on-one therapist. To recap, I earned $200,000 from one-on-one therapy alone 2 years in a row, seeing 17 to 23 clients a week. And then I earned over $100,000 a third year, seeing one-on-one therapy clients less than 8 clients a week, right? So you can truly earn a very good living doing this work as a one-on-one therapist. And if that is what you are desiring in this stage of life, if you want to build your own 6-figure practice that feels sustainable and enjoyable to you, I would be honored to support you and show you the way. Inside of my program, the Private Practice Academy Bundle, I walk you through absolutely everything you need to start your practice, fill your caseload with private pay clients from Instagram, go out of network, scale, hire associates, whatever it is that you are looking for in terms of building a 6-figure practice. I would absolutely be honored to support you inside of the Private Practice Academy Bundle, and I will include the link in the show notes to learn more. If you have any questions about this episode, I would absolutely love if you sent me a DM. This definitely feels like a vulnerable share, as it's something that I haven't talked about in great depth before outside of with my actual one-on-one business coaching clients. I do get this question a lot from them. But I want to know what you kind of thought about this episode, if there was anything that surprised you. And I'm just so honored that you are spending the time listening with me today. And it feels honestly like a huge relief to be able to say this, to share my story, to share why I made this decision. And I'm really, really looking forward to directing people to this podcast episode when this question comes up in my reels. So if this is how you found this episode, I am so glad that I could give you a more detailed, thought out, I hope helpful answer than could ever fit in an Instagram comment. Till next time, I'll talk to you soon.